So you're making a people-based portfolio strategy, right? Some portfolios it fits better, some portfolios it does not. So as you're going into market, the biggest aspect is convincing somebody about this change, right? Because it's a change in financial capex versus opex, change in labor versus non-labor headcount, and then of course comes the change on the reliability of the model. Most people are PhDs and they're like, hey, I trust another PhD from this university, but I don't know you or your equipment, so why do you think that this would be that much better? So walk me through all of those change management stuff. One is around people and people replacement, and second, of course, is the proof point that this does perform better than what the standard of operating procedure is today.
I, I think a nice thing about pharma is that we care about quality a lot. And the more auditable a series of steps is, the better it is for us. In GMP manufacturing, everything has to be written down in SOP. It needs to be replicated by people who are not experts in the field. And you always have multiple people try to do the same SOP. In R&D, maybe less so, right? It's not as common as the GMP rigor. But when we apply robotics to this work, we can easily show that this work has now got an audit trail behind it, even at R&D. And if you wanted to, you could run the same schedule, as we call it, and then the robots will perform the same action the same way, right? Without any kind of errors in the middle. You get much tighter error bars when you do this work. So I think that's been a pretty easy conversion for clients of ours to be able to say, yes, it makes sense to use robotics to do this. The other piece that I'm noticing is as we grow in our careers, we want to do less and less bench work. We want to do more and more thinking work, right? So we just become experts in our field in that the grunt work of like manipulating things on the bench is maybe not as high ROI for our time. So by saying, let's offload this to the robots and let people do higher ROI work, that's been very easy to tell people about. There's basically no change management. Nobody comes out of their PhD saying, oh, I really wish I could do cell culture for 8 hours a day, right? Or I could do the same formulation assay 8 hours a day. That just sounds terrible. And so by telling them, no, look, now you've got an option. Let the robots do the grunt work. You guys should be creative. This is what humans are very good at. Even AI hasn't gotten to that point yet, right? I think that's a very easy thing to manage in terms of change.